some of them.
The me that you all are meeting today isn't the me that always existed. And the same for you two, right? The you that I'm meeting today isn't the same person that always existed. So the reason why the podcast is named Some of Them, SUM of them, because this is the current sum of the both of you. Because this is our boot series, Sherrod, why'd you join the military?
Well, I joined because circumstances had showed me that I needed to make a change. Mm-hmm. And previously I had went to college at Texas Tech. I dropped out over some immature choices. And when I went back home, I saw that my family wasn't doing anything progressive. So I needed a change. So I joined the Navy because I had a friend of mine who had joined 2 years prior, and he was like hyping it up. He would come home, he had his Dodge Challenger. He's like, "Yo, want to go to the mall?" Like, bro, what is going on at the Navy? Because clearly they doing something I haven't seen before.
Right.
And then so then I just joined the Navy, and then with the intention of like righting my wrongs, essentially, join the Navy, then do my 4 years mandatory, go back to college, go back to Dallas, Texas, and show off, like, look what I came up. And then I'm still here.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I like it.
Yeah.
Corpsman. Why?
Well, I didn't join the Navy to be a corpsman initially. I joined the Navy to be an air traffic controller. And in boot camp, I got the moto bug, that everybody gets, I love the day. So, you hooping and hollering and carrying on. And then, so I could swim well. And being African-American in the military, knowing how to swim is like a unicorn.
Absolutely.
In the middle of the high fields. So and immediately they were like, hey, you could do rescue swimmer. You could do some kind of special program. So I went on and did that route until I went to Florida, Pensacola, and then they were like, "Oh, that bonus you signed for? Oh, we got to take that away." I said, "Hold on.
Wait,
this wasn't." Yeah. They so I had a bonus when I signed to be an air traffic controller, and so because I was switching rates, the bonus no longer was attached. So I had discussed it with legal and my recruiters at the time in Pensacola about trying to find a way to get what I wanted. Because initially I just joined for the fort. So they said, well, we can't get you this rate any longer, air traffic controller, but we can send you Undez and you can keep your bonus. I didn't know what Undez was.
Right.
I was just like, okay.
Oh, you agreed to?
I agreed because I wanted my money.
Okay. All right. Got you.
So I ship out to Japan on the USS George Washington. And then I learned what Undez meant.
Not fun, right?
It was not fun. I was like, oh, dirty dogs. And then, so when it was time to pick a rate, I picked IT, AC, and then HM. So like air traffic controller, intelligence, and then corpsman. And then they gave me corpsman. And so that's essentially how it went. So I was like, fine, these are both fields that you can progress in. Whatever one I had chose was good enough to make a career if I decided to still leave in 4 years.
Right.
So I just took it as, a layup. God led me this way, so let's just go that way.
Absolutely.
And yeah, that's why.
What is a normal day in the life of a corpsman? In general, not specifically what you do, but just in general, what's a normal day in the life of a corpsman?
Patient care, honestly. Patient care. And in that term, I would say, and the range is as little as record management all the way to doing ER assisted work. So we can go and do like phlebotomy. We can do venipuncture. We can do crikes. We can.
What is crikes?
Like a crike is essentially you cut a.
The movie joint.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
But that's like on the extreme side.
Okay. All right.
But for the most part, is basic hormone stuff. Is you will see patients, you will work with providers, nurses, doctors, PAs, dentists if you go that route, and you will assist patients. You will make sure that they're getting their care, and you will be an advocate for those people.
Okay.
So yeah, that's really what it is.
Okay. Ariana, you mentioned in the story that you shared, you said within hours of meeting Sherrod, you felt like he was the one. Mm-hmm. How did you all meet? And can you describe in detail what you actually meant by that?
Yeah. So it goes back before we met.
Okay.
It was during COVID. Being younger, I think I was 32 or 33 around COVID, and just trying to figure out, I had moved to Houston and just trying to figure out, am I dating? Am I not dating? And I decided not to. I decided to take some time and go inwards. And I think a lot of us did that. I think a lot of people used COVID for some wrong reasons and some right reasons. And some people came out worse and some people came out better. Mm-hmm. And I was determined to come out better and find something. And one of those things was I was ready to be in a relationship. More so, I was ready to be married. But I honestly said a prayer and I said, I probably won't know what this guy looks like. My picker is real broken. So I just decided to stop picking and pray about it. Mm-hmm. One of my friends was having a party in California and was like, listen, come out, have a good time. And for me, I'm like, come out for a couple of days in California doesn't make sense. It's just, it's COVID. We're all inside. But I was, okay, I'll come. So I come out there, and one of my questions to my homegirl, his wife, my friend's wife, was, are there any guys out there? And she's like, girl, there's so many guys out here. And right in the middle of the trip, I decided, I'm actually having a good time without all of that.
Yeah.
So as friends, we all had a plan for a party. And I knew that a lot of people were coming safely. And at that party, I met Sherrod. And I had already resolved inside of myself that I wasn't looking for anybody now. I'm just.
But I was looking too good. I just want to clarify.
What?
But I was looking too good.
and that was the thing, though, because I did see him, and because I already said I'm not looking,
right.
I wasn't looking. So when he did his work, he came and he was trying to talk and everything like that. And it was the conversation. When we started our conversation, we were outside talking, and it was something that he said. And I looked at him and I was like, oh no. Part of me was, oh no, because I just got outside. COVID had just lifted. I'm outside. The other part was, I can't believe it happened this fast. Mm-hmm. I just knew. I just knew. And it wasn't something that I had ever known before. And that's how I knew it was different. I was like, okay, I know this. Mm-hmm.
Was it, so it wasn't look, it was level of conversation?
It was, if you could take it here, it was deeper than the level of conversation. It wasn't just look, because like I said, my picker was broken. I'm picking people based off of looks, and for all kinds of reasons, it's just wrong. I'm picking people off of what I thought their personality was, and that was wrong. And so my prayer was, I'm going to stop picking. I need to know.
Yeah.
I need to know, and I need him to know. And that was one of the things. I think I put it in the story. When I came down the stairs to join the party in the living room, I just see this person look up. And according to what he said,
I was like, what? It was like a Harry Potter like portal in that house, because there were women just coming out.
Yeah.
And then she was the last one to descend the stairs. Mm-hmm. So like, of course, they're all attractive women.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, okay, And then I'm with our mutual friend. I'm standing there, And I'm like, okay, who's that? Who's this? And then she comes out. I was like, hey, yo, who is
That's
this? Right? And he's like, oh, that's Ariana. I was like, okay. And she came down and she was like, like, you know,
This ain't your part of the story.
I'm just saying. It was, oh, okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Anyways, it was deeper than that. I knew there's something. Sometimes I heard somebody say, "Do you believe that, or do you know it?" I didn't believe that he was the one. I knew he was the one. That's how.
Gut feeling.
Yes,
You knew.
I knew.
Sherrod, you already began to explain. but could you go a little more detail how you knew that Ariana wasn't just another face in the crowd or another face at the top of the stairs coming down?
I always told her that I saw her as regal. She just looked royal to me. She looked like I wasn't supposed to touch. You know, like, hey, too much dip on your chip, walk that way.
Right.
And because of that reason, I was intrigued. The other females that walked down wasn't that they weren't also, they didn't have like the genetic whatever. I'm not saying that wasn't the case, but just with her, she just seemed so at peace with who she was and where she was at. It wasn't like an effort to like be performative.
Right.
Like I'm like how she said, I'm here for me. And if you're interested, cool. If you're not, cool. I'm not for it. So that really drew me in. And so, what was the question?
How'd you know she wasn't just another face in the crowd?
Yeah. Well, then, and I think things that are hard attract us as men. Some of the other ones, they just seem, like I said, very eager to converse and to get to know one another, and which isn't bad. But there was a conversation that arose when we were all in the kitchen, and a buddy of mine who's also active duty, he was like, "My boy, he making good money." You know what I'm saying? You know, trying to hype me up.
Right.
And then one young lady was like, "Oh, we can." What did she say? She said, "Oh, we can be a power couple." Or something like that. And I was like, bruh, listen, okay, I hear you, but at this moment in my life, like the money part is fine, but I'm looking for something more.
Right.
And Ari was quiet. And she didn't say nothing. She didn't engage in that conversation at all. And I was like, okay, she's quiet. What's up? And then like there was just, I was just intrigued. It wasn't like I know she's for me, but I wanted to know. I wanted to see if this was somebody that I could develop something serious with. Because as she said, prior to me meeting her, I was going through a divorce. I went on a couple of dates, and everybody was just really superficial. And she just didn't give that vibe off. Like so much so that I was literally chasing her around this dang ride. Like ridiculously chasing you around.
What led to the divorce?
What is it? Immaturity.
You got married younger?
I was like 23 when I got married the first time.
Yeah, still young.
So pretty young.
Yeah.
And it's just the maturity level wasn't there. The person I had ended up marrying just wanted all the roses without the thorns. And it made it very difficult.
Do you all have any children?
Yes, I have 2 beautiful daughters.
Awesome.
Beautiful daughters.
So you got 2 daughters. Do you all have children together?
We do not.
No.
You want children together?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that's in the horizon, on the horizon.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. I couldn't imagine having more than one daughter because it's something about that daughter love that just, I don't know, it's different. Like I come in the house and my sons, this is when they were younger, right? My son, hey dad, or wrestle, fight, stuff like that. My daughter, coming out. Dad, like she ain't seen me in a million years, right? Like it's just different, right? We going to bed and she's like, Daddy, I love you. Like it's just stuff like that, right? So it's different. How? 2 daughters, right? How?
Contrary to popular belief, it's actually really easy.
Okay.
Lord has blessed us with kids that are very understanding, very emotionally mature, and very self-aware. So I can't name a point where I had a difficult time with the girls. It was always their mama. So with them, even now, as we are separated from them, we don't see them as often, but they're just understanding. We have a call schedule, we have a visit schedule, and every time is just a good time. Every time. And the feeling that you get where you say, you know, Dad, I get that still from my 13-year-old and my 8-year-old. So the 8-year-old, you expect that. But the 13-year-old, you know, they're kind of like, get up off me, you know.
She coming into her own.
I'm a young adult now. Got it. But even still, though, like she'll call me in the middle of the night just to vent or to ask for advice or to joke or to play around. And I genuinely love my daughters. Like those are my little homies.
Ariana, what was it like stepping into a role as you are a stepmother, right? Is that something that you ever thought of before? Explain that to me a little bit.
So let me go back to that party.
Yes,
when
absolutely.
we had that conversation, the thing that started me.
So you all laid it all out on the table
Completely.
Yes.
Oh, okay, all right.
Completely.
I love that. I love that.
Too old for that.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
That was one of the things, amongst many other things, after this marker right here, I'm about to tell you, that made me know. He said, I have, how did you say it? He said, I have 2 daughters. He didn't hide. He said, I have 2 kids, 2 children. And I have to ask him price. He said, I have 2 daughters. And he said, that I love them. They're everything. And for me, of course, he wouldn't have known this. Nobody did. I come from a huge blended family. 2 parents on this side, 2 parents on this side. No, there was no dating. There was no a bunch of guys or a bunch of women in and out of the house.
Right.
They saw someone, they picked them after my parents separated. My mom had a husband. My dad had a wife. My dad, my biological father, my daddy, he was the quintessential daddy's girl. Girl's daddy.
Right.
Everything that I knew about being someone that a man could love came from him. The fortification, the supply, the resources came from my stepdad because that's who I lived with my mother. But my dad was my biological father. And even though we were at a distance, I was in Alabama, he was in California, the calls, the visits, the gifts, the boxes, all of those things to make us still feel connected. So just him saying that, I was like, I know what this is.
Yeah.
I know what kind of man this is. And if I'm right, which I was, then this is worth it. So being a stepmother, it's something I kind of always expected. It was something that I always knew. I knew I always wanted kids, and I didn't have a hesitation in my head if it was going to be a blended family or all biological. So when I say I love those girls, and initially it took me, because being older, you get in your ways, you're used to it. Getting used to them being someone else's babies and having to know in my heart now they're mine too. That was a transition. Figuring out my voice was a transition. I used to teach kids art class, and you have to have a voice. You have to be their mother or their father when their parents are not there in school. And for those girls, after I'm not naturally a shy person, but once we hit a stride, they're mine. That's how it was.
That's awesome. Awesome. So you both work. You work as well,
I'm
but you
self-employed.
work. You're self-employed. That's awesome. That's what I'm trying to be. I'm tired, yo. Being self-employed, Is that difficult?
Extremely difficult.
Explain some of the challenges of being self-employed.
There's a right way to be self-employed and there's a wrong way to be self-employed. And for many years, I was self-employed in the wrong way. Had a lot of talent, but being self-employed does require grants. It takes money. It takes knowing how to work your finances, pay yourself, pay your crew if you have a crew. All of that foundational stuff that you might learn in business school. If you don't have that, it doesn't matter what business you have to go get it. You have to go get that knowledge. And if you don't have it, it will be a hobby. It will always be a hobby.
Yeah.
And just recently, honestly, in the last 3 or 4 years, I've been pouring into that part that I wanted to ignore because I'm a creative person. There's no one else that's going to come and do my books. There's no one that's going to do my advertising. There's no one going to teach me how to do QuickBooks or Facebook ads or Instagram, all of those things. And then budgeting, bringing all of that in and recognizing you don't really get a salary until down the line. You got to pay these things. I'm sure you have subscriptions that you pay for, editing, all of those things. They have to get paid for it, and then you pour back into your home, and then you realize, well, I got enough for coffee.
That's it.
So it's worth it. It's worth it in the end. But yeah, it has its challenges, but it's so worth it.
Did you go to business school?
I did not. I went to school for graphic design, web design, came back out on the other side in consumer packaged goods. Started doing marketing, less so advertising, but that's where I'm at now. Branding.
Branding. Okay. Have you been deployed yet?
Oh yeah, a few times.
Since you all been married?
Oh no.
Time apart?
Yes. First
year.
First year we were apart.
How was that?
Wasn't that hard? I mean, there were hard times, but I don't think it was very difficult.
Sherrod told me this from the beginning. It doesn't have to be hard. I've never been married, didn't have kids, and that was what I was afraid of. And it's not hard. I thought he was lying, but it depends on who you're with.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be hard. The long distance, we agreed to it. We worked on it. We talked. We had a schedule, all those things. It doesn't have to be hard.
Yeah.
So what are the things that you all implemented to make it easy? You say you had a schedule. You say you worked on it. Detail that for me.
Okay. The schedule essentially was that we would allot time daily to speak to each other, making sure that we listen and receive what the other person's going through. We tried to make sure that communication was like the number one thing that we would provide for one another. And then on top of that, we built our trust up. So just telling them everything. And that's what kind of helped us from starting to let our minds wander. Like, so if I had a meeting that day and there were X amount of people, these are the people that's there. Right. And then same for her. And if we had a trip with friends, like, hey, we're going out here, so I'll be at, this is the location, here's my address. It just made it very clear and transparent. So there's no room to allow your mind to wander. As simply as that. And then we would fly out to see each other. So either I fly to her, she fly to me, and spend time for like a weekend, 3 or 4 days, and then get back to the grind. So it wasn't. I mean, of course, there's the time where you want to just be with your person. Yes. I want to sleep with you. Yes. I want to talk to you in person. I want to kiss on you, all that good stuff. But after you get past that, and you know that, oh, I'll see you next month, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. What do you think?
I just want to add to that. Okay. The exercise that we did at the beginning, I think it lends itself to this. When you were asking about what it's like to have to work for yourself, be self-employed, that it's going to always be a hobby unless you do the foundational work. It's not fun. It's not fun initially. Our initial version of this relationship was very intentional, very foundational laying, and it's just brickwork. It's like, can I just get to the designing part? And when we didn't realize how good that would be when we finally did fly out, because I know him now. Yeah. I know him more. Yeah. We also had, our schedule also included, in case you got any young people that are getting into relationships, we wouldn't talk after a certain time in the evening. So having those types of boundaries made it so that if you have to go to work in California, which is 2.5 hours, but like behind me, I need to go to work too. It's 11 o'clock here. I can't. It's respect. So we started building like that.
9
It was
o'clock,
good.
9, 10 o'clock, done. Conversation's over. And
Wow.
so it allowed for the respect to build. So then I can't overuse her time when I know that she has obligations and then she can't then demand more of my time. So it was very clear. So it made it work.
I like that. That is, whenever you guys hear me and Gina's story, yeah, it was not that. Again, like it definitely was. And we were on 2 different coasts, right? We were on 2 different coasts, and it definitely was not that at all. It was. I was up all night long. First girl that was able to keep my attention, and I'm talking to, and I'm just talking to her. I got to go to school the next day. Like it was, yeah. So yeah, and she'd be up, whatever, but she'd get a good night's rest. I was the one that didn't get a good night's rest, but I mean, to me, it was all worth it in the end.
It's
But
different for everybody.
Yeah. Not saying that there's a right or wrong way. Just respect each other.
so, but I think the way that you all did it, I think it was better. And had we been older, right,
Yeah.
had some more experience up under our belt, right, we would have been intentional, right? We would have laid out a schedule, laid out these guidelines, these boundaries, and it would have, you know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, the young ones is going to be a little bit everywhere, but as you get older and you get some experience under your belt, it works out that way.
It works. It's amazing.
Yeah. So within your marriage, how do you define, are there roles, traditional roles, or is it flexibility? And does the military influence that in any way?
Well, obviously the military does in a sense because we're at the leisure of our military when you're active duty. So yes, if I were the one that cooked every night and then I deploy or I have to do something that requires me to be away from home, then obviously the wife will then have to pick up where I am unable to maintain that. And then when I get back home, then maybe the role then changed because the wife's like, I actually enjoy cooking. This is my hobby now. So stay out of the kitchen. You can't touch nothing in there now. And it's like, well, okay. So now we got to adjust fire for the sake of, I don't know the word I'm looking for. The word I'm looking for is, you know, when you're not dependent, but you're interdependent.
Okay.
So you are the C word I'm looking for?
Codependent?
No.
Those words.
No codependency here. No,
I'm just reaching.
Essentially, we're just working together. Collaboration. For the sake of collaboration, we're now, I am looking to you for these things and you looking to me for these things. And then you can adjust. I think that a good marriage has flexibility because people are constantly changing. I think of each person as a variable that you add some, you take some away from, and the equation always equal out something else. So to always think that this is always going to be a 2 + 2 is insane. So maybe I'm a 3 today and she's a 7. So now you got to just be okay with that. Maybe you're a 10 and then this person's a 1. So you have to be okay with the change and then adjusting for the sake of the relationship. It's like the greater good is the marriage.
Do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah,
Yeah?
I think bringing it closer. When we're talking about traditional roles and things like that, I was raised in a traditional household. So the woman, she knows what she's going to do. You do traditional women, men type of roles. But one thing that he made very clear when we first got together, it's like you said, not always going to be like that. At the time, he liked to cook, and I'm trying to debo my way into the kitchen, and he's like, "You don't have to do that."
See,
you know,
that was close to my heart.
try to let go of some things. And what's the problem with letting it go? It's just ego. It's just ego. Just let it go and see if they do it better. And if they don't, then you step back in. I had my hard stop. I don't do trash. And that for him, he was like, because even if he's not there, I'm not doing the trash. I'm waiting till he comes back home. Of course, he hasn't been deployed yet. I was raised in the country. I can take out trash. I can do the thing, but I don't want to, because for me, that infringes on the femininity I'm trying to develop. So for him, okay, I'll take out the trash. Outside of that, we don't have any really hard stops. If you're going to do the thing, do it and finish it. That's our hard stop.
I like that. Unflinching fidelity was mentioned. What does fidelity mean to you beyond just physical faithfulness? Both of you.
You go first, please. I'll answer the other one first.
Okay. I think when we're all young, we have those relationships, situationships, and there's really no commitment. Like we're in here, but we're not really in here. We're kind of just seeing how it goes. And I think the one thing that Sherrod and I had, I think it just became innate, was commitment. And it wasn't a flimsy type of commitment. It was, I'm really here and I'm not afraid. I'm not distracted. I'm unflinchingly here. One of my favorite words is courage, to be able to do something in the face of fear. You're going to go into certain things feeling like you might not be able to do it. I might not be able to reach that goal, but the fidelity to stick with it, that's the unflinching part. Even if it falls or it falters or you're like, I can't get my feet under me. I think the part is that you stay in the game, and the communication that we developed means that we're still moving forward, even if we're stopped right here. We're not going back. Even if we stop right here, we're still moving forward together. That was my version of that.
And essentially everything she just said. My first marriage, I was loyal to it because of what marriage meant to me. Regardless of, excuse me, that's not a real word. Regardless of.
He said irregardless. I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I got my own language. Okay. So I say what I feel like. All right, y'all. I want everybody to know I say what I feel like. So regardless of what the first marriage had and the harm that it may have done, I was just loyal to the institution of marriage. And so even after its dissolution and how I felt, because I felt like I failed in that marriage. When I met Ari, I said, if this is something that we're going to do, I'm not ever doing it again. And so we're going to be loyal to each other because of the respect that I have for the title of husband and the title of wife. So just no stop. So if you're afraid of that, then we got to just call it from here. So that's how I feel about fidelity. It's very important. I grew up Southern Baptist, and it was banged into my head. So, and it hasn't been removed from me. And I think it's a very serious thing to not waste someone else's time because of your faults and the things that you may have issues with personally. So you take yourself out of the equation. Yeah. Go handle your business. And if that person is available when you come back, then great. If not, then that's your loss.
So you mentioned about you all coming into the relationship before marriage with baggage. What was that baggage? Or what were you speaking of when you said baggage?
Yeah. Well, I was writing for both of us. He obviously had a
previous marriage,
and he was just getting out of it, and he had 2 children, and it's not bad baggage. It's just something that you carry now. My previous relationships, I was coming out of something that was starting to become dangerous. Other relationships that weren't based on faithfulness, and realizing you pick up these things you got to take some time to let those things go. You have to allow yourself to, like what you said, to become the sum of those things. What is the good stuff that came from that? And then the rest of it, let it go. And we had some hiccups, we had some wounds, we had some damage that we had to work through, but it was the understanding. So there were many times when, if I felt out of sorts or feel like maybe I'm popping off, then he's like, whoa, wait a minute, pause. What's going on? And the same thing for me, if I felt like things were just going off the rails, we'll just stop. Let's just stop. Where is this coming from? Because this emotion doesn't fit this situation. So I think that's what helped us. It's not a bad thing to have things you can learn from as long as you learn it from them.
Yes.
It's being open to the fact that you are also being loved and critiqued at the same time.
Yes.
So, yes, this person loves you, but they also want what's best for you, and they also want to protect themselves. So you have to be okay with if this person has a boundary that you feel like it shouldn't be there, and then understanding that what you feel isn't what they feel, and vice versa, and then being able to express those feelings, and then hopefully find understanding in between it. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you just have to agree to disagree. But most of the time, because of the respect, the transparency, the love, the communication, you will find a way to understand.
So you believe that it's okay, or that men in general, right? Because we always have this macho, right? Oh yeah, we got to be the rock, right? Should men be vulnerable to, I'll say, their wife, girlfriend, somebody that they're looking to date seriously?
Okay, that's a layered question.
Okay.
So we live in 2025, young people. Please don't go outside and start telling girls every which thing. Your daddy don't love you. You lost your dog. Nobody cares. Don't do that right off rip. Okay, you have to work your way up.
Speak on it.
So
Yeah.
I think if you are interested in courting someone, you have to have honesty attached to your character. If you're in there playing games, you will win a game prize, and you won't win what it is that you actually are looking for. If you're in there to be honest and define a relationship, you will win a relationship. So there has to be honesty there. Now, once this person becomes a girlfriend, quote unquote, you're still not married. So that's the part where you can continue to work on building your boundaries, learning what respect is to you, what your roles are, and then you can get all your quirks. You can start exposing those quirky kind of weird things that you may hide in the box that you don't like to show everybody. And then from there, it allows that person to see the most authentic version of yourself. And then when you say, "Will you marry me?" and then that person says yes, they're not surprised by a lot of stuff. I'm not saying to show everything, but it's definitely not like I'm reading a chapter book and I get married to you after the second chapter and you have 100 chapters. That's crazy. Like, I should be at least like 85, 90 chapters in before I'm saying let's get married, because you're gonna start reading that book a little further. And you're like, hold on a second, I don't like a lot of this that's attached to you. I actually hate this book. Can I take it back? And so I would just advise that when you are married, to be absolutely vulnerable with your wife, because who else would you be? Are you going to be vulnerable with your mother? Okay, but that's not your wife. Will you be vulnerable with your friends? Absolutely, but that's not your wife. Will you be vulnerable with your pastor, your minister, your priest? Sure, but again, it is not your wife. The main two people I feel that you should be able to bare your soul to is God and your spouse. And if you can't bare your soul to those two people, you're in a bad place, I think, in my opinion.
Okay. No, that's good. That's what I was asking, your opinion. So Ariana, Gina said to me, this was a while ago now, but she said to me that girls aren't typically taught how to be wives, right? They don't see enough examples of that. And again, like I said, we will be married 20 years in March, right?
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
My question is, though, have you seen that in growing up or just looking at the world period that girls aren't taught how to be wives? And if so, can you just speak on that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Sherrod and I had this conversation before. There's a difference between a girl and a woman, a girlfriend and a wife. And there comes a point in time when as you're transitioning between a girl and a woman, you have to figure out what you're missing and go get that. Same thing I said for business. As a woman that's looking to be a wife, the study, the work that goes into doing that, if you did not get it when you were young, there are some girls that were trained from young to be wives. Just the same way there are children who are raised to be adults. They're not raised to be children. Wow. They're raised to be adults. They think differently. They do things differently. But if you know that you are not one of those people, one of those women, you need to go out and do the research and the study. What is a wife outside of a ring, outside of a marriage? And I let me not say that outside of a marriage, outside of a ring and outside of a wedding. Because I think there are girls who have just turned 20, 30, doesn't matter. You could still have a girl mindset, not realize you're not a woman yet. There are women who still don't know how to be a wife. You have to go and pour into yourself. And honestly, it's not what a lot of women think. It's not cooking. It's not throwing it back. It's not making sure the kids are dressed. A lot of it is looking into, are you healed? Are you whole? Do you have something to offer? You're not going to be the 100% for your spouse, but you can be the support. You can be the rock. You can be the creativity. There's a lot of problem solving in marriage, and I'm finding that out. But I was prepared for that because I was one of those that was raised to be a wife. I was not raised to be a girlfriend. And I had a lot of relationships where I said, you treating me like a girlfriend. And that was where I was wrong. I was a girlfriend. I was not in a relationship to be a wife. So I picked wrong. However, when I got older and I got with Sherrod, I knew right then, you are looking at and talking to a wife. I'm not married yet, but it doesn't mean I'm not a wife. And that's what the difference was. That's where the difference lies.
Gang, gang.
You say you were raised to be a wife. In what way? Like what were some of those things that you were taught?
So I did I know the red pill, pink pill, black pill, all that kind of stuff. Our expectations of what a wife or husband or spouse is supposed to be. But what I realized is that you are a multiplier as a wife. You are the stability inside the home as a wife. If he's outside and he's taking care of things, taking care of business, you have to take everything that he's bringing back home. And Lord, please let him bring something back home. Whatever it is, you stabilize that thing. And if you read the Bible, it is being poured into a cup and letting it overflow. If it comes into my hands, it should overflow. A confidant, someone that he can rely on. That was one thing I did not have when we first got married. I was not reliable, but taking your ego out to learn on the journey. I told him, you cannot rely on me. Can't do it. But I learned over time, reliability is huge. A lot of times it's not a male, female type of thing. It's a, how can I step in for my husband, for my spouse here, be the most reliable, most trustworthy person in his life. I think that's just the foundation. There's a lot to it, but yeah.
Okay. So both of you reference faith, right? And everything that you've said thus far, right? And this question is for both of you. Were you raised like that, or did you find religion, faith? I'm not sure where you all stand, but did you all find it later in life?
Go ahead.
Let me go first. Well, I was raised Southern Baptist in Fort Worth, Texas. Went to church Sunday, Saturday, Wednesday, Thursday. Right?
Yep.
And you just think of it as like the normal, not really putting your spirit into it. You just know that I have to be here. So as a kid, I had a lot of questions, and unfortunately, the adults that surrounded me didn't have the answers. So then I went astray, but I never lost my connection. I know that prayer is important. I know that meditation is important. So those things I maintained. However, going to a church, church hurt, what people normally say they have, to this day is very difficult for me. However, I found that the seriousness of a relationship with God profoundly jumped in my life and on my steps of like who I wanted to be as a person when I met our mutual friend. So I'm going through a divorce. I'm coming from Japan to California. I bought a house in Maryland where the ex-wife is currently, and then now I'm stationed in California.
Wow.
I'm like lost. I don't know what to do. I feel like I can't afford to take care of myself and family and all these other things. Then a buddy of mine, he's like, hey, I'll come pick you up from the airport. And then we're talking in the car. He's like, hey, come to church with me this Saturday. I was like, what? Nah. I was like, who is you to tell me? Because this is the same buddy where we used to go party in LA.
Got it.
And like this man is like 180. Okay. Oh, I go to church every Saturday. I do this every Sunday. I do this. I'm like, hold on. Wait, who is my friend?
Yeah.
And what have you done with him?
Yeah.
Like, because I don't know you. But God had my hand and he was tugging on me. So I go to church and I meet the pastor. The pastor is our age. And I'm like, oh, wow, you're a young man like me. All right. Let me get to know you. And so I get to know him and he's like down to earth. And he's like, listen, you don't have to, no one's going to press you into this, but it's just know that we are here to help you as you take your steps, however slow you take them. And I just really appreciated that autonomy they had established with me as other men that wanted to ingratiate me with God and prayer and better choices. Wow. And so and like thank God I did, because I wouldn't have met my wife. It's just like the steps don't even, I would have never saw this coming. And so I am a full believer that God was like, I got you. Even though you don't know that I got you, I do. And that's one thing I would never question.
Wow.
Yeah. I was raised extremely religious. I was raised as a Seventh-day Adventist in Huntsville, Alabama. Shout out to Oakwood University.
So both of y'all from the South.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, I was born in California. Shout out to Cali.
Okay.
But I was raised extremely religious, and I didn't find my spirituality until recently. Maybe in the last 3 years or so. My parents, they got sick, and I thought my religion would fix it. And I realized that it's not my religion. Religion is a good thing for discipline. But spirituality is connectivity, is connection with, I feel, God. And I realized I was not connected. I didn't know him very well. And I really honestly wasn't very interested. I was interested in ceremony. And when I gave my life again to God, to Christ, it changed everything. It changed everything I understood about everything. So I do incorporate a lot, especially in our conversations and our arguments. Because just because it's not super religious anymore doesn't mean that the Bible isn't it's the cornerstone of my life. It rules everything that I think of, everything I decide. And it's what keeps me grounded in our relationship. It gives me understanding. So that's where I would say I am now. It's less religious and more so spiritual.
Do you not know how hard it is to win an argument when you're getting Bible quotes thrown at you? It's not very. It's very difficult to win an argument in that Bible quote.
Trust me.
You know,
That I understand. Because I be dodging them all the time too. so yes, I definitely understand that. What's been the toughest fight so far? Now, I don't mean argument. I just mean trial, tribulation, right? Within marriage, think about marriage, think about the military, think about everything, think about your children, think about everything, right? So what has been the most difficult fight so far, and how did you all work through it? I'm sure your answers may be different. So
They're the same.
They're the same. Okay.
It's only one.
I was like, do I want to say this?
There's a way to say it.
Podcast? I don't know how to say it.
Okay.
Then pick another one. If you don't want to use that one,
Only
pick
one.
another one.
I mean, we're genuinely, everything that we've had like hard times with.
Yes.
I mean, we've just go-do.
Yeah.
But this one thing,
Yeah.
this one thing is sticking around.
Okay, I have to know.
Just figure out how to just
Tell me
no.
what you say. Hey, just give me some advice. I need some help.
I got it.
Just tell me. Just
okay.
I'll say it so you don't incriminate
You
yourself.
all are funny.
See, I want to say it that way.
Got you.
The one thing that is very difficult is forgiveness. That's what
Forgiveness.
forgiveness of perceived and identified hurt. To the point to where you can still progress even though the current outcome doesn't look favorable, but you still like continue to push forward, and then being kind, being honest, being respectful, even when it feels like it is falling on deaf ears. That is one of the hardest things that we're dealing with currently. How would you say it?
Okay. Still, same forgiveness. We have to figure our past, who we were in our past, and who people were to us in our past. And bringing in a previous marriage and the casualties that happen when the family is split, or when the kids don't know who to call mom or who to call dad. They don't want to hurt feelings. It's a lot of responsibility on children. And then being able to show love to the person that gave you those children. It's difficult to show love to the person that gave him his children.
Yes.
To show forgiveness.
Just let it out, huh?
Nah, I figured it. I figured it. Yeah, I figured
But
it.
this is
That's real.
what we're doing. It's just real. And to show forgiveness. It's it's forgiveness all the time. And it's not always because it's staticky. It's not always staticky, but that's it. Just to make sure that no matter what it is, whether the forgiveness is received or rejected, whether the love is received or rejected, whether you are ignored or spoken to, it doesn't matter what it is. You have to hold in your heart so that you can move forward. I forget that.
Wow. You guys give some great answers. Nah, that was good. And I like the way that you all dressed it up. Because before you said what you said, I was just like, oh, baby mama drama. That's what I was thinking, but don't worry about that.
Yes.
But yes. So, okay.
Yes.
Mission, right? Military will take you, and it's got to be mission first, right? Military first, Family typically comes second. No matter what they preach, no matter what they say, right? It always seems to be the mission is first, and then family members, right, typically end up suffering from that, whatever it may be it distance, right, be it whatever else. So have you seen that? And then how do you maneuver through it? How have you guys maneuvered through it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You see it. And it comes with the job. I will say this, not to advocate for the Navy, but they do offer a lot of assistance to try to mitigate the hardships that can come with like rapid deployments or what's the one called where you go to a duty station without your family because they want to allow them to come in. So they do try to help in those ways, but it's just something that you have to like get the mental fortitude, learn how to control your emotions, talk about it with your spouse, so that they're not blindsided by the expectations of the military. Because it's clear. You will hear from boot camp all the way until your first duty station, until you deploy, that you are deployable, that you will be chosen if we need a person to fill this space. Yeah. And just coming to terms with that, it just makes it easier. You say, if I had to deploy tomorrow, I would say, well, this is all the stuff that we know we need to do. Here's the bills, here's the will, here's the and then here you go, hand it off. I will contact you as best I can. And when communication, because I went on a 3-month deployment while we were dating, and I was talking to her on the boat, like, hey, this is going on. This is how much information I can give you. However, I'm safe, I'm alive. Let's continue to communicate. There's always an avenue, especially now. This isn't 1940s where like you have to get snail mail. We can literally email each other. Some people have Wi-Fi on boats, like. So It's not like this, oh my gosh, I'm disconnected. It's just learning how to survive and thrive without that person being physically present. But yes, it's difficult if you've never done it before. I imagine that if you are brand new to the military, you're now leaving home and you probably never left home before. So these are a lot of firsts for people, but the fact that you left home, you can do it again and again and again. And then when you're tired of leaving home, get out the military. That's how I see it. Like, if you're tired of it.
That was me.
and I say this not like with any kind of like sarcasm or anything like that. Like, please do a check-in with yourself, with your family. If this is something you want to continue to do, then just know that that's an expectation. And yes, there's anomalies in the military where people never deploy, never get to leave, never.
That's genius.
Right? And you'll hear that and be like, oh, that could be me. Well, it could be, but not. It's like a 50-50, 60-40 type of toss-up. So just don't trick yourself into doing things. Just know that you are deployable, you will deploy. And it's okay to have, not to like it, but you've also chose. I just think about it like this. You go to McDonald's, you apply for a job, and they say, guess what? You have to fry the fries. You got to flip the burgers. How then do you get upset about that? That doesn't make sense. It's like, you know where you're at. Like, I just want to work cashier. Well, maybe today the cashier's sick. So get back there and flip them burgers. You know, like that's just kind of how it goes.
Okay. Ariana, do you ever think about the possibility of Sherrod deploying and how you would handle that?
Yes. Like I said, we just were blessed. He couldn't have gotten somebody that's more comfortable with the possibility of either side, because I've been working for myself for so long. It's a lot of isolation, like a lot of just like getting in there and doing the work, and then going out and networking with you, coming back home and doing the work. So because that takes up a lot of my time and a lot of my my brain space, I'm always focused on how do I do this so that we can move forward. If he needs to deploy, it's just business. This is your job. You got to go. And he knows exactly where I'll be, almost down to the minute every single day.
Yeah.
And that's it. I think I would get in my head if I thought about what would happen to him on deployment. But I can't afford that. My job is my brain. They go hand in hand. So we do what it do, and then we come back.
I'm not saying that it won't be difficult. Again, I know it can sound very it can sound like we don't care that you may feel away.
Yeah.
We do. We're saying that to learn how to get that emotional intelligence up, to recognize what is and not what you want it to be. A lot of times we live in Delulu, and we're like, man, this will never happen to me, and then it happens, and now you're depressed or you're sad because you can't control what other people have done around you. So I always say, just control yourself. Mm-hmm. You can control how you feel. You can control how you take news. You can also control speaking up for yourself. Mm-hmm. If there's something that you don't want to do, speak up. And you'll be surprised with people that do want to deploy and go out there in them streets. You'll be surprised how many people want to do it. And so you just say something, maybe you can get out of it. But ultimately, just come to the realization that this is a war-fighting profession. We are expected to, at the drop of the president's hat, to go wherever he tells us to go. Mm-hmm. So just be okay with it and then do it.
I want to say one more thing to that. Mm-hmm. Like you said, it's not going to be easy for everybody. It depends on who you are, what your life created you, or how you are in your life based off of your experiences. My dad was an international salesman, business person, and he was gone for many, many months throughout the year. I had to learn how to appreciate him when he was there, to take advantage of those times when he was there. And then when he's gone, it's too much to be emotional every time he has to go, because my life is afforded to me because of what he's doing. Right. And the same thing for men that are in the military, women that are in the military. The lives that they provide for their family and for themselves is afforded by what they're doing. Mm-hmm. So if you sign up for it, you get married to somebody in it, this is it. Yeah.
This is it.
So you saying just shut up and accept it?
No.
Oh, that's what it sounds like to me.
That's what I said. I'm not trying to say it that way.
It is
not to shut up and accept it. Express your feelings.
You gotta express. Yes.
But just realize you only can control what you can control.
Yes. Got it. Your emotional intelligence. You got to. Got it.
Yes.
Got to get a grip on it.
We get a lot of that. I've heard countless people lose relationships because of their profession. Mm-hmm. And it's what did you expect? Mm-hmm.
But
So what is the conversation though that needs to be had?
From
the jump.
From the rip.
From jump.
The rip, you say that I could potentially be out of your personal bubble for an extended period of time, from up to 9 to 10 months. Mm-hmm. Are you okay with that? Are you okay with that absence?
And then if you're not okay, you have to be that type of person to say, not okay with that, I'm coming with you. You better make some space. Find me an apartment. Pack me a bag, or else I'm gone.
Well, I'll say that if you if you're deployed to a foreign country or boat or a Marine unit, then obviously you can't pack your spouse in your seat back. Mm-hmm. But if it's a local transfer, you go from California to Virginia, then yes, you can have that conversation about moving that person closer to you. Mm-hmm. So
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
You're obviously not coming on the boat. But
I just want to be clear for anyone that may think cool, hey, don't bring my girlfriend, you know what I'm saying? Hey, she gonna have the top rack, I'm gonna have the bottom one. No, that's not happening, okay?
Yeah. I honestly do think that it would be hard if you were gone for a year. I know there's some women that have dealt with that. A year, 2 years, 3 years. That is very hard. And I think realistically, I've never faced that. But I think realistically, we would have to have some serious conversations.
Yeah. Yes. And service member, be prepared to have conversations with the person that you claim to love and commit your life to. So don't be afraid. It may get heated if there's disagreement, but always come back and realize what's the purpose of these things. You want to make sure that your spouse is taken care of. You want to make sure that they feel safe. You want to make sure that you can also go and do your job without worrying like 100% of the time about what your family has going on. So make the plans, take the time to do it. Otherwise, you could be setting yourself up for failure, and no one wants to leave a deployment with divorce paperwork on the desk. No one wants that.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Or no one wants to leave a deployment and find out that their spouse has been unfaithful.
Right.
And no one wants to leave a deployment and find out that you've been robbed. Your account is empty. You know,
Heard all those horror
so
stories, but
so it's like have protective measures in place for yourself and for your loved ones, so that you can continue to do your job to the best of your ability.
Right.
Because I promise you, if those things happen, you won't be able to. Yeah. You just won't. You'll become I'm trying to think of the word. I don't want to say like a casualty or a burden, but you could definitely become someone that makes everyone else's job a little bit more difficult trying to take care of you. Again, if you need the help, ask, but try to be like self-sufficient as best you can. Ask those questions at the beginning so that you don't have to ask them later.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I will give you.
Ariana, I'm gonna ask you this first. Sherrod, this is coming right back to you too.
Okay.
If your marriage could be summed up, one word, one word only, what would it be and why? You could take some time to think about it if you need to.
Goodness.
I'm gonna look up words real quick.
That's fine. That's fine.
It's not there.
You want to look up some words?
No,
Look up some words?
Nope.
We can cut all that out.
If my marriage could be summed up in one word, what would it be
And why?
and why? I don't want to sound cliche, but all the words that I'm thinking about just come to life-changing. And I say life-changing because everything about who I was in some of the best ways is different now. The things that I think, the things that I can do. I never thought that I would sometimes the girls play video games. I never thought that I would level up as a character because of marriage. I never thought that. And it has. It's changed my entire life.
So what's the word?
Life-changing.
Okay.
What you got?
Yeah, I'm still because it's like you have like the cliche words that
Yeah.
everyone uses. I guess I would say transformative. If I had to use anything, I would feel like this marriage is transformative. I've seen myself in the last 3 years become a different version of myself, like entirely. The things that I cared about beforehand that were like minor and inconvenient and emotional immaturity and all that stuff, it's not there. Yeah. And it's been replaced with the words of wisdom that my wife continues to give me, the encouragement, the love, the warmth, the comfort. Oh my goodness. I'm my most comfortable when I'm with my wife, genuinely. So yeah, transformative. And I have a quote.
Yeah, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Yeah. The quote is by a French writer named André Maurois. Now, I don't speak French, but you can check it out yourself. A happy marriage is a long conversation that always seems too short.
Wow.
Because the conversation is so great, the marriage is so profound to me that it's like I can't get enough of it. I can't get enough. I love being married to my wife, and I could talk to her forever. So that's what I think it is.
That's dope. I like it. That's dope. I don't got nothing for you to wipe, so you just gonna have to jump.
I'm just gonna suck it up. Y'all suck it up.
That's awesome.
Okay.
With that said, your daughters and you all's future children, right? What do you hope they learn from you guys' marriage?
Oh, that's a loaded question. Ooh. Okay. What I hope they see God in us. Mm-hmm. That we could be the examples that they can always reference when they go through hardships in life. Hope they see kindness. I hope they see forgiveness. And I hope they see the imperfections that we continue to show, and that they can see that as humans, we are trying our best. So if they see anything, I want them to see those things. Mm.
Yeah. I would hope the same things. When my biological father got married to my stepmother, their relationship became something I knew I had to have. Mm. They were kind. They were friendly. They weren't always nice, but you're not going to always be nice. Right. They genuinely enjoyed each other, and they knew how to play, and they knew how to be serious, and they knew that one's strength might be something I need because it's a weakness in me. Mm-hmm. There's not an ego in there. And I hope the girls would see that. Our girls now, and if we have any children in the future, then I would hope that they see that you can be a friend, that you can be honest, that you can stand up for yourself. There are many times when we would talk, and I'm like, I don't like the way you're talking to me. In front of the girls, not to be disrespectful, but to show it doesn't matter who this person is. With love, you can say, I don't like that. To be able to be strong and courteous at the same time. And that just because you're getting older, you don't have to get old. We still have fun.
That's it.
Yeah.
That no is not disrespectful.
No is not disrespectful. Yeah.
Right. It's necessary.
Yes.
I think no is necessary. So, okay. I'm trying to figure out a way to phrase this question, because this is typically, it's easier to ask from one person, so I'll just ask it to you. I'll ask it to you first. Think back to before Sherrard. Okay. And what life was like before you met him. Okay. Would you do it again? The same exact way that it happened up until the moment you met him. Would you do it again?
Life before him?
Life before him.
Would I do it that way again? Absolutely not.
Oh.
Absolutely not. I know.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
I know that I could become the person that I am now, or better, making different choices. And I still think I would have met him. Absolutely. I think that for people that have that idea, they're like, well, I am who I am now because of my choice. Yeah, but what if who you are now could have been a little bit better, a little bit moved to the right or to the left, and now you're solid. Now you have to make that new journey to the right or to the left. For me, I think that I wasted time. And I think it's more important on the side of women, because we have a universal shelf life that has nothing to do with who we are, right, which is insane, but it's true. It's in our communities. Yes. And I think that as a person, also because as a human, we have a shelf life. You don't want to waste time. Get to the person, get to the goal, get to where you know in your heart you need to be. Maybe you're not ready yet, but don't waste the time. And I think that there were a lot of things that I could have done differently. Yes. Would that have developed me faster? Yeah. But I absolutely love who I am now because I made a different choice. I didn't waste the time. And look what I got. Mm-hmm. My entire life is different. And it's not because of a person. my entire life is different because of my choice. Yeah.
Sherrod, same question. Thinking back before you met Ariana, would you do it the same way?
So for me, it would be a yes and a no.
Okay.
If all roads led to Ari, then yes. But if I could change things, like meeting her sooner, absolutely. I feel like sometimes life, we take the long road because of ourselves, of what we choose to do. And I know like the person that I was before I went through what I went through got buried somewhere. And then she was able to like sift through all the mud and the junk and the nonsense and pull that person out of that. And would I had rather not been buried in the first place? Yes. I would have rather just been the person that I was to the person that I am now and missed that big chunk that didn't do me any benefit. I think most of us are more self-aware than we like to give ourselves credit. I think that when we make certain choices, we think that we use the universal excuse, we're young, we got time. And I just don't believe in that. I believe that you make the right choice when you know it's the right choice to make.
Yeah.
And then you can avoid pain and hardship. Like, why?
Unnecessary.
Like what's the point of it? Just so that you can say that like this good thing is now happening on this side. I think that good thing was already there. We were like I say is God has a road for you. And I was down there laying down my own asphalt, just, and I'm trying to get there. And there's like, the road is really right there. I'm like, I got it. I'm just laying my own bricks down. And then finally one day you're like, you know what? Can you help me? And then it's like, yeah, just come over here. You can leave that road that's forever broken and come on this road that I've given you. And you can just be happy. Look at that. It's like the sunset's right there. So
That's powerful.
I like to think that it's like I feel like I shouldn't say it, but I'm gonna say it. Like if I had my kids with her,
Yeah.
the world would be a better place. That's how I feel in my heart.
Yeah.
And I love the opportunities that I was able to learn and the hardships that I was able to overcome. However, I know that if I would have just made slight choices, different, just a change here and there, that a lot of the hardships that we're dealing with to this day could have been avoided.
Dope. Well, that concludes this episode. I thank you all for openly sharing your story with me, with us. And I hope that people picked up on the gems because they laid down a lot of stuff. But yeah, you guys are great.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Thank you for having us.
All
Thanks for
right.
having us.
If you would like to become a featured guest on the Some of Them podcast, go to www.someofthem.com.
Some of them